my topic for today is accidents that styled my world. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me start with a confession. I was the quietest girl in school. I knew the answers in class but was too shy to raise my hand. Silence was my comfort zone and invisibility my superpower. Growing up, I never imagined that I would be standing here in front of all of you today. My journey is best described as a series of beautiful accidents. There was no grand vision, no detailed roadmap. When I graduated from high school, I chose to study commerce at HR College, not because I was passionate about accounts, but simply because I came from a business family. And it felt like the natural choice. I remember going to my father's office after college like all my male cousins, and I would sit across his expansive desk and watched him work. It was the most boring thing I did in my life. Finally, I just stopped going. Accident number 1. The graphic design detour. One day, I found myself literally by accident in an intermediate class at another college. The classroom was filled with vibrant artwork, something tugged within me. I thought I want to do this too. And just like that, I pivoted to graphic design. But as fate would have it, the advertising world that followed wasn't for me either. Deadlines, endless client revisions left me drained, and I realized I wasn't meant to be here. I craved something more personal, something that spoke to people on an emotional level. Accident number 2, falling in love with fashion. A friend of mine was quitting her job as art director of Elle India for a magazine, and unwittingly that job fell into my lap. Art direction for a magazine was extremely dynamic, thought-provoking, and that's when I first experienced the magic of editorial work. When I styled my first shoot, the world of styling struck me like nothing else. I happily agreed to forego credit for my work since that was a prerogative of the fashion department just so that I could style. Later on, I joined Elle India. I begged to be transferred to the fashion department. They said they needed an art director, not a fashion stylist. But somehow I worked my way to becoming a fashion editor. I fell head over heels in love with the craft. And seeing how clothing could transform people, creating visual stories, and working with different people literally every day, it was magical. And the best part, being behind the camera meant I could still be invisible, exactly where I felt most comfortable. The world of graphic design felt like another lifetime altogether then. That world just dropped from the radar of my existence. Accident number 3, the celebrity chapter. And then came the moment that changed everything. I was in London in the basement of TEDxHR when I bumped into Priyanka Chopra Jonas. We struck up a conversation, and out of nowhere, she asked me to style her. Imagine my surprise. If Priyanka Chopra asks you to style her, what do you say? Hell yes, no matter how shy or unprepared you are. After styling Priyanka for her wedding, I became known as a wedding stylist. Another unplanned twist in my career. Assignments started pouring in, and I realized I had built myself a name without even trying. In the age of Instagram, vision boards, and goal-setting culture, people often ask me if I had some master plan for success. The truth, I didn't even know what a vision board was. I had no affirmations, no 5-year plans, no wishes taped on my wall. I was just me, stumbling from one opportunity to the next. I remember interviewing a stylist from my team, and I asked her about her 5-year plan. That's when it hit me. I wouldn't have been able to answer that question myself. I once told my team, I'll do celebrity styling for 5 years and then retire. 5 years later, I said the exact same thing. And 5 years later, I still said the exact same thing. Success in my case felt like an unrelenting tide. It swept me off my feet and left me no choice but to ride it. Accident number 4. The Art of Living teacher. I stumbled upon the Art of Living course very reluctantly. But by the end of it, something inside me shifted. The Sudarshan Kriya unlocked a dimension I didn't even know existed. I then became a meditation teacher. And suddenly, my life had a deeper purpose. Teaching meditation became my safe space. I even turned down high-paying freelance assignments just to spend the evening teaching people how to breathe correctly. If I could make a difference in even one person's life, that was enough for me. I never chased money. The only thing I chased was to increase the balance of goodwill. And to this day, it gives me a wealth that no RTGS transfer could ever compare to. Through spirituality, I discovered something the Bhagavad Gita speaks about beautifully: dharma. Dharma is the purpose of life, the duty you are meant to fulfill. It isn't something you chase, it's something you uncover, and once you find it, life aligns itself in ways you never imagined. People often ask me how I balance two seemingly opposite worlds, fashion and spirituality. To me, they aren't opposites at all. Fashion is the outermost layer of who we are, while spirituality is about peeling back the layers to uncover our true selves. The dreamy girl who didn't do drugs. Now, let me share a funny story. Back in HR College, my vice principal, Mr. Saldana, called me in for a serious chat. Beta, he said with utmost seriousness, I've noticed you sit in the last row, your eyes all rolled up, staring out of the window. Please don't do drugs. Give it up. It's not good for you. I was stunned. My dreamy, quiet demeanor had convinced him otherwise. I tried to explain that my eyes were naturally like that and I was naturally lost in my own world. But he didn't believe me. Wherever you are, Mr. Saldana, I hope I was only high on daydreams, and RIP. Looking back, when I look back at my life, it seems like a random series of accidents, but from a bird's eye view, I see a beautiful design, a journey shaped by curiosity, courage, and a lot of chaos. Today, I still feel like that shy, socially awkward person who'd rather observe than socialize. I go to events wanting to be a fly on the wall and soak it all in. Even now, when someone approaches me for a selfie or tells me that they're a fan, I instinctively turn around, wondering if they're actually talking to me. But here I am, standing before you. No 5-year plan, no grand vision, just a quiet girl who stumbled her way into something extraordinary. To anyone out there who feels lost, unsure, or overwhelmed by the need to figure it all out, let me say this: you don't need all the answers. Sometimes life's most beautiful chapters are the ones you didn't plan. The power and purity of your inner intent is all that it takes to navigate your life to the right path and achieve more than what you could ever dream of. We're often taught to believe that life needs to be meticulously planned, what career to choose, how much to earn, and even retirement, what it should look like. But in doing so, we sometimes unknowingly box ourselves, limiting the possibilities of what we're truly capable of achieving. If there's one lesson I'd like you to take from my journey, it's this: embrace the opportunities that come your way, even if they push you out of your comfort zone. Step into the unfamiliar. You might discover a passion for something you never imagined and find yourself in places you never thought you'd reach. Just know that the universe is a field of all possibilities. Sometimes your plans, however big you might think they are, could be limiting for you. Trust in the higher plan, and you could achieve much more than what you set out to do. And know that true control is to let go of control. Fashion may be the outermost layer, but your true self, the one waiting to be uncovered, is where the magic lies. Thank you.